Need something?
Commander, I have a message for you. It is from a priest at the Temple of Talos in Windhelm. He said it was important. Here it is, Commander.
See you.
Hey, you're the one who killed Elaine Dufont up in Ralbethar. Oh yeah, word about that got around. Man was a piece of bandit trash, is what I hear.
Ulfric Stormcloak was a true hero of Skyrim. The Stormcloaks are gone, but Talos will never be forgotten. I don't care what the Thalmor say.
Greetings, Commander. Yes, Commander. Or do I call you Dragonborn? Straight down to business, I like that. I represent a group of law-abiding citizens of the Empire that found themselves outlawed at the end of the last Great War. We became aware of a Thalmor plot to kill you at Anga's Mill, and we were going to intervene, but, well, you know the rest. Yes, indeed. The peasants always were revolting, but we followed these peasants back to Helgen. Funny thing about those revolting peasants, they turned out to be Pentheus Acalatus carrying out an ambush against the Thalmor. Indeed, but I am not exactly unprotected. So, let me introduce you to some of my friends. Yes, friend, your enemies are our enemies. Once the Pentheus Acalatus revealed their true mission to us, it was decided to arrange a meeting between us so we might cooperate in this endeavor. We had a little priory in the south of Cyrodiil. It was one of the first places the Thalmor attacked when they invaded during the Great War. When the Empire declared Talos worship illegal, we became outlaws rather than give up our faith. You know your history. Good. It also makes us a highly trained military order outside of the direct control of the Empire. An order that is already at war with the Thalmor. We can confront the Thalmor at any time, in any place without drawing attention to the Pentheus Acalatus. Yes, the knights were undecided as to the true intentions of the Empire until they saw the agents of the Emperor attacking the Thalmor. Now we know. We are willing to work with the Empire as needed. I am the Divine Crusader, turned priest of the Nine. After the Thalmor destroyed our priory, the knights scattered and the divine relics they protected were lost for decades. The order disappeared until one day a priest turned up in Anvil, asking for worthy people to join him in a quest. He stood in the same spot as a priest of the Nine did during the Oblivion Crisis, and spoke the same words, asking for worthy people to join him. Yes, that is what I thought, but he convinced me to join him. His quest was to recover the lost artifacts of the Divine Crusader, relics lost during the Great War. Yes, together we re-established the Knights of the Nine and have been fighting the Thalmor all over the Empire. The old priest died years ago, and I have assumed his role as mentor for the Order. For an unbeliever, it might look that way, but consider this. Where did the original priest of the Nine come from 200 years ago? More interestingly, what happened to him afterwards? Part of the mystery of the Nine is the sudden appearance of a priest of the Nine during a time of crisis. Yes, usually when the Order has dispersed and is needed again, gathering the relics of the Divine Crusader is merely a test of faith. Before I answer, tell me, Commander, did you know the Septums, Raymonds, and Elysians were totally unrelated, yet they all shared the dragon blood? I just wondered if you had considered that point. To answer your first question, the old priest told me that the Order would play a vital role in restoring a fallen empire. He foretold the rise of a strong emperor who would go on to defeat the Thalmor. We have been searching for this person. Yes, I think so. You report back to Mr. Smith and tell him of his new allies. We will be here if you need us.
Ulfric Stormcloak was a true hero.
Need something?
Nothing to report, Commander. The Thalmor are very active right now, Commander. Be careful.
Greetings, Governor. The Knights of the Nine are back. Interesting. This will serve us well. We can hunt them publicly and give them vital missions privately. The perfect agents to use against the Thalmor. Tell me, Commander, do you know why they asked you about the old Dragon Emperors? So you are aware of your bloodline then? What the priest said was correct. Elysia, Remen and the Septim dynasties were all unrelated, yet they all had the divine blood of Akantosh. The dragon blood they all possessed marked them as chosen by Akantosh himself. Whilst the dragon blood alone did not make them emperors or found empires, the fact that they were chosen certainly made it easier to do. Yes, as do all dragonborn. We don't know if any existed before Elysia, but we know the ones that existed after Elysia. They were the rightful owners of the Storm Crown, which is the Greybeard's way of referring to the Imperial throne. I never said that. I said the Nine believe it. The gods work in mysterious ways. A priest that appears to re-establish an ancient order of knights when the Empire needs them the most. It sounds like something the elves would blame on the trickster. I'm no expert. You should probably have asked the priest, but the trickster is Lorkhan. Priests believe Lorkhan vanished whilst creating the world. Some believe he is the very heart of Nairn. Interestingly, he is also known as Shaw here in Skyrim. Indeed, perhaps you should ask around, find out more about this. In the meantime, I'll see what use we can put these knights to. Hello.
Best defense is a good defense, am I right? I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of mead.
Yes? Need something?
Lorkhan is a limitation. In creating Nirn, he destroyed or transformed the existing gods into the ones the world knows today. Each god's powers became limited. The Daedra laughed at the gods for giving up their power and created their own realms. The elves believe they were cast out of heaven by this act, and have called Lorkhan the trickster ever since, hating him for what he had done. Some say Lorkhan's heart is Nirn itself, and cannot be destroyed without destroying Nirn. The moons above Nirn are his flesh. He sees all. Others call him the missing god. Some believe he cannot stay long in any one place, due to the transformation he went through when creating Nirn. Another story tells of Lorkhan leading armies of men against the elves a long time ago. He is defeated by the elves, who rip out his heart, but find they cannot destroy it, for Lorkhan's heart is the heart of Nirn. So they hide it, so men may never find their god's heart, or use it against them. It is after these ancient events we start hearing about aspects of Lorkhan appearing under different names to fight on the side of men. Names Lorkhan has been associated with include Shizar, who is venerated in the Colovian West for helping fight the Aelids. Pelinal Whitestrake, also known as the Divine Crusader, also helped Alesia in the rebellion against the Aelids. It is almost certain that the Knights of the Nine you spoke of would have known this. In Skyrim, under Nordic culture, Lorkhan is known as Shor. In Cyrodiil, he is called Shizar, and in Morrowind, Lorkhan. Roughly 250 years after the Alessian rebellion against the Aelids, Wulfharth restored the traditional Nordic pantheon. After defeating the Alessian army at Glenumbria Moors in First Era 500, the old edicts were outlawed, their priests put to the stake. Wulfharth earned the name Shor's Tongue, and Ysmir Dragon of the North for this act. This is the time we hear the name Ysmir. Later, Wulfharth pleaded with Shor, the dead chieftain of the gods, to help when Orki sends Alduin to eat the Nords years away. Shor battled Alduin on the spirit plane and won. Wulfharth learned a new Thuum, which he used to restore his people's ages. But the effort aged him, and he died. Yet we know from this story, King Wulfharth was able to master a new Thuum quickly. Which means King Wulfharth must have been Dragonborn too. Centuries later, Skyrim is under threat by the dwarves once again, when Dagoth tells the Nords he knows where the Heart of Shor can be found. The Heart of Shor was in Resdain, as Dagoth had promised, though in Resdain they call it the Heart of Lorkhan. The tongues sung Shor's ghost into the world again. Shor gathered an army as he did of old. Then he sucked in the long-strewn ashes of King Wulfharth and remade him, for he needed a good general. Indeed, but in battle at Red Mountain, the Nerevar, Dumac Dwarf King, and Alandro Sul met Lorkhan in battle and defeated him. Lorkhan's heart was made solid by the blow from Nerevar's weapon Sunder, and cut out by his other weapon Keening. The Nords were defeated, and Wulfarth, the Ash King, who was unable to maintain his form without Shor's help, was blown back to Skyrim. Jurgen Windcaller blamed the defeat on the abuse of the voice, and started teaching Nords the way of the voice. Yes, centuries later, Wulfarth the Ash King is awoken once again by the rumblings of the Greybeards. Though the Empire had crumbled, there were rumours that a chosen one would come to restore it. This new emperor would defeat the elves and rule a united Tamriel. Wulfarth, also known as Ysmir Dragon of the North, had been replaced by a new chosen one. Kulkane, the king of Falkreath, was at war. History refers to him as Emperor Zero. Hjalti Earlybeard was his general. At the siege of Old Heraldon one night, a storm came and visited Hjalti's camp. It spoke with him in his tent. At dawn, Hjalti went up to the gates, and the storm followed just above his head. Arrows could not penetrate the winds around him. He shouted down the walls of Old Heraldon, and his men poured in. Yes, Old Heraldon, which you may know as Sancretor, was the old seat of the Remen dynasty. After his victory, the Nords called Hjalti Earlybeard Hjalti Talos, or Stormcrown, a name you now hold. Then Kulkane was assassinated by Hjalti Talos, and made to look like Kulkane enemies had done it. Then Hjalti Talos adopted the name Tiber Septim, and founded the Septim dynasty. Wulfarth the Ash King. When Tiber struck a deal with the tribunal, the Underking felt betrayed and turned back to Ash. Tiber Septim became the new Ysmir Dragon of the North, and Wulfarth disappeared. When the Greybeards named you Ysmir Dragon of the North, they did so knowing what that meant. Tiber Septim battled the elves. King Wulfarth battled the elves. Both were Ysmir. Now we have a new threat, the Thalmor. More trouble from the elves, and here you are, Ysmir Dragon of the North, right on time for a new war. The Greybeard named you the heir to the Stormcrown, but as you now know, the Stormcrown was a person's name. In this case, they meant you are the heir of Hjalti Talos, who wore a storm as a crown in battle. Yes, he was, and you are the heir of Tiber Septim, according to the Greybeards. They fear you will abuse the voice, as Wulfarth once did. It spelt disaster for the Nords. I would guess their goal this time is to put you on the right path to victory. By calling you Ysmir, Dragon of the North, the Greybeards send a message that raises certain expectations of you. First, you are the right hand of Shor himself, most hated amongst the elves. Second, people will expect you to fight the Thalmor and drive them from our lands. The Stormcrown refers to Tiber Septim and the storm that crowned him during the Battle of Old Heraldon. But, since Talos' own name means Stormcrown, it also means you are his true heir. Here, take these books about Lorkhan and his aspects. You may find them interesting.
See ya.
Governor? Mr. Smith has been in touch again, Commander. He has another mission for you, sir.
Good morning.
Yes?
Looks like you're clear, Commander. Looks like you're clear, Commander. Nobody is following you.
Greetings, Governor. Good to see you again, Commander. I've been going over Agent Kel's notes on the Thalmor activities inside Skyrim, and have identified 5 sleeper agents embedded in our cities. Long enough to do some serious damage, according to Agent Kelf. It is time we closed this spy ring. I want you to find and kill these 5 agents, and report back to me when the job is done. Longshore Bower in Solitude is the ringleader. He organises everything. Take him out and the sleeper cell dies. Greedy Woodhearth in Riften has been ensuring Riften taxes never reach the Jarl, forcing the Jarl to raise taxes to make up the difference. I believe Greedy's intention is to spread rebellion in Riften, as if Riften didn't have enough of that already. Raj Khan in Whiterun was trying to persuade the Jarl to join the Stormcloaks during the Civil War. You caused his plan to fail. Yes, Rollin Highholf has been pitting the Legion, the Jarl's own troops, and the Forsworn against each other in Markarth. His actions have caused us a great deal of trouble in the Reach. Taking him out will help stabilise the area a little. Topol Kilmore has been using the ban on Talos worship to stir up rebellion against the Empire in Windhelm. Already several legionnaires have been stabbed or attacked by locals as a result of his actions. We must put a stop to it. A little too busy if you ask me. I need you to handle this carefully, Commander. The Empire does not officially conduct assassinations. Best leave your Imperial uniform behind on this one. If you have a disguise, such as a Dark Brotherhood disguise, that would be perfect. Good luck, Commander.
Good afternoon.
Need something?
The Emperor, the Tamriel, dead. These are dark times, my friend. Dark times indeed.
I work with my mother to sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, but hard work.
Need something?
Good to see you again, friend.
Name's Nils. I'm the cook up at Candlehearth Hall.
Spare a coin for a poor old woman.
I own Hollifrost Farm outside the city. It's honest work, if a bit dull.
Need something?
A few septims for my supper is all I ask.
Yes?
Yes. Buying and selling fine jewelry here. The fairest prices and the highest quality in Skyrim. I've never seen you all this upset about anything. The city really gets to her. Scurry! You know what's good for you. Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you much right now. I'm currently in mourning. You caught me at a bad time. I've lost someone dear. My husband bears me 20 gold coins and all this. Too much for the hero, and not enough about himself. The fairest prices and the highest quality in Skyrim. Hello? The Emperor, the Tamriel, dead. The third time, my friend. Beautiful baubles and gleaming gemstones over here. All the crime and corruption in Riften is really getting to him. And now that we hear rumors about the dragons, he's been very depressed. Hello? Fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone. Make love like a saber carries horses and hide the dog inside. The city still reeks with the stench of the Stormcloaks. Makes me sick to my stomach. Vegetables as crisp as a winter's morning. Beautiful baubles and gleaming gemstones over here. Only 20 septims each. My husband Bercy will be the death of me. He spends too much time worrying about Riften and not enough about himself. Fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone. Yes? Now that the Empire's arrived in Riften, we finally established a launching point into Morrowind. Just in case.
Fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone.
Good morning. Yes?
What now?
Need a new... Take a look. Mm-hmm.
What was that? Dead. Kill him.
Somebody, help!
Tree!
Someone do something.
Come quietly or taste the Jarl's justice. Stop. In the name of the yard.
My money's on the big one.
Red Guard craftsmanship in every piece.
You want a cut of venison or mutton? Well, of course you do.
What is it?
Being old's not so bad. Daughter keeps me fed. My working days are done.
If you're heading to the Blue Palace, you might want to rethink that outfit.
What a waste.
Greetings, Governor. Are all 5 sleeper agents dead? Excellent. One thing about the Thalmor is, they hit us where it hurts, every time. During the Great War, the Thalmor's initial success and the destruction of the Blades was all down to their superior spy master training. Imperial spy masters were mostly lords and ladies. The Thalmor introduced specialists, and it showed. They walked all over us. We are a new breed of Imperial spy masters. At least we have been since the Thalmor handed us our bollocks on a plate during the Great War. We reverse engineer the Thalmor's plans, deconstruct them, and then tinker with the details so they work in our favour. A little lesson the Thalmor taught us, and is now being used against them. I need you for those plans we cannot tinker with. Anyway, Commander, good work. Here is a little something to cover your expenses.